fun lovers. Welcome back to the Tommy Hawk YouTube channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about the RG351P handheld video game console. It's made by Anbernic. I purchased it off of Amazon probably about a year ago now. So I thought it'd be nice to do a one-year review and educate, I guess, or help inform folks who are on the fence about buying it about some issues that I've had with it over the last year. One of the first problems I had with the 351P was with regard to charging. So I started to notice that no matter how long I charged it for, the little light wouldn't turn off. At first, when you would charge it, the light would go out showing that it had been fully charged, or it'd go green. Eventually, the light would never turn off. It would always stay orange. So that was a problem. So I noticed that when I left it to charge overnight, it would never shut off the light. So it had some sort of problem. When I turned on the unit, it only had 40% power no matter how long I would charge it for. So this became a problem because eventually I went to use the unit and it just simply would not turn on at all. So a quick review showed that I would have to disconnect the battery to basically reset the unit and have it start to charge past 40% and show the proper lights for what the state of the battery is. So as I went to go remove the screws from the back, I found out immediately that they're not Phillips head screws. They are the star screwdriver pattern. It's a 6-point star shape that's also known as a Torx screw. And these are used to get extra torque when you're trying to torque down screws. So I have experience with these screwdrivers when I try to take apart my controller for the Xbox. It uses similar screws as what's in the back of the Anbernic. The most distressing part, though, is when I tried to remove the screws, one of them I found was stripped, completely stripped, and could not be removed from the back of the unit. So you can imagine one screw having to hold a corner down made it very, very difficult to try to get into the unit to disconnect the battery and then reconnect it. Now, I was able to do this. It was very difficult. I almost cracked the shell. I had to get in there with tweezers and microscope, magnifying glass, and a lot of light. And I was able to just barely pull out the connector. Thank goodness it's not like soldered into the board. I pulled the connector out of the battery and gently pushed it back in. And from what I've reviewed online, that should help to fix the problem. But I really don't like that I had this sort of problem in the first place. So that is one issue that I've had with the Anbernic 351P. The one that I have here on screen is the exact model that I bought from Amazon about a year ago now. And the other problem that I had with it that I found initially right off the bat was that the headset port is not working. Basically, when I plug in headsets into the headphone jack, I have to push the connector towards me in order to hear anything come through the headset. If I then let it go back to gaming, I don't hear anything. So I have to constantly hold the thing in order to get it to play sound. Totally ridiculous. I think in this day and age, 2021, we should have built-in Bluetooth for wireless headsets automatically by default in all of these devices, as well as Wi-Fi. Which brings me to an interesting point that this device cost $100 from Amazon. I probably could have got it slightly cheaper on other places like AliExpress or Banggood. But This basically had no Bluetooth, no Wi-Fi, and was $20 more than the Retroid Pocket 2, a similar console to this one that does have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi built in. So I was kind of disappointed there. And then with the headset port not working, it was very difficult to get sound in a silent way. So the strip screw, the problem with the battery and charging, and the fact that the headset port doesn't work very well has really kind of made me rethink um, the build quality of the Anbernic products. All reviews on YouTube point to an out-of-the-box product that looks like it has a very superior build quality to other similar handhelds, which it does initially on the outside, but I wonder about the internal components. Um, Interestingly enough, as I started to have problems with the Anbernic and its charging and its battery, I pulled out the Retroid Pocket, who'd been sitting next to the Anbernic for about the same amount of time, and the Retroid Pocket is still at 93% and ready to play. So it's gotten very little use, but has sat charged next to the Anbernic, and the Anbernic's having issues where the Retroid Pocket 2 is not. So I found that kind of sad and distressing because I was considering the new Anbernic that is apparently on the horizon. I believe it is the 552. There are reviews, speculation about it all over YouTube. And I thought, oh, that looks great. But now that I'm having problems with this one that I've had for a while now, I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to pick up the new uh, RG552, I believe it's going to be called, possibly, by Anbernic. So, yeah, that was some of the difficulties I've had with the Anbernic. I do love it. I purchased two of them because I had to have purple as well as white. So I'm definitely a fan of the unit, but I just wanted to share these issues that I've had. These kind of cropped up initially after like the first few months of having the device. This didn't even happen like a year later. This was pretty much initially when I got it. I started having the problems with the charging. There are there is information on the internet that if you let the battery go too low, that it can damage the battery. Um, but I just would hope that quality-wise, internally, there'd be something that would prevent it from, just being destroyed by losing its juice. You try to charge these things as much as you can, but sometimes they go low and they have to get low for a little while. And, for the whole unit to be destroyed, now I have no way to get in and change the battery if I need to because of the strip screw. It really makes it very difficult to fix and maintain this device. So just thought I'd share that with folks if you're on the fence about getting one of these little bad boys. Anyway, enjoy. Happy gaming.